Hi, and welcome to the show today. I have a very special guest. She's been on my show here before, as well as my radio show years ago. Her name is Mrs. Tina Brown. She's a teacher here in Wenatchee School District. She's up for all kinds of awards, aren't you, Mrs. Brown?
I am.
Tina now, or should I call you Mrs. Brown?
Either Tina's fine. Tina's fine.
So let's talk a bit. I want to share, we'll talk later in the show with a couple of your students who are coming to talk about their experiences with you and Road School, which we'll get more into. Also talk about the several awards you're nominated for that we'll be rooting for you to receive. But first of all, let's just introduce people to you whom they may not have heard of you yet or know of you. But you're just one of those hands-on teachers that students and parents alike love. So welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Sure. Let's talk a bit about your history, how long you've been a teacher. First, I want to know, did you always want to be a teacher?
No, I didn't. I didn't always want to be a teacher. I always thought I'd want to go into being a pediatrician and working with kids. And then, as I started going through high school, I thought, that's not really what I want to do with kids. I want to keep learning myself. And so with some help of some mentors in high school, they encouraged me to go into education.
I would say, and I was thinking about this in preparation for the show, you are one of those teachers that kids don't forget. There's a couple that stand out for me from kindergarten, Mrs. Scholba. My love of words and letters and how much she nurtured that in me, all the way to my senior year English teacher, who actually did a second pass on one of my books to help me make sure I got all the details. So you are someone, no doubt, who stands out to students. How long have you been a teacher now?
I'm starting my 21st year.
Okay, so you have some students who are grown people.
Yes,
now.
I'm going to my first wedding of a student this fall, and I just had 10 students graduate high school who I've been in touch with. They were with me as 4th and 5th graders and watching them grow, and now they're moving on. It's been great. I've got siblings and I've had cousins and just whole families. And that's the most exciting part for me. And working so long in one place is, I'm not just part of their school day, but their extended family out in the community.
Yeah,
well. And that's such an awesome feeling.
Not too long from now, you'll probably be having their children in your classroom. And that's really something. So you didn't necessarily know you wanted to be a teacher, but you were nurtured by some teachers in your high school years when you're making that decision. Yeah. And then you go into college and there's a very specific path to take to become a teacher. And I'm guessing you're a math science person because you thought about being a pediatrician. And tell us what you ended up studying and in college.
Well, it wasn't just that easy. I wish it was, because I couldn't even decide even then what I wanted to teach. But I did obtain my bachelor's degree in elementary education, but I didn't want to have myself trapped in just working with young children. So I have a second bachelor's degree in history. And then I received my first master's in technology integration, which opened up even more doors, because that was around the time computer science was becoming a big deal. And then I thought, well, I have all of this experience working with kids. How cool would it be to work with adults? And so I have my second master's degree in professional development. And just this month, I decided there's still more to learn. And so I have just started my doctoral program to receive a doctorate in the type of learning that I'm doing currently with the Wenatchee Internet Academy.
We'll talk about the Wenatchee Internet Academy. That's part of why I have you here today. One of the things from all that you just described is that's one of the things I would think is so important as a teacher. You always have continuing education and things that are required of you, but you take it to a next level. And when there's a student in your classroom who doesn't feel like learning's important, or there's not, they are limited in their thinking, you are a tremendous example of the limitless opportunities with education. And so how do you impart that to your students of all ages?
Well, I have to model it, right? I have to get out there and do it myself. And you have to be willing to ask questions. One of the biggest things I've noticed throughout the 20 years is slowly our students are losing their ability to be curious, right? They come to school and they have wonderful teachers who are sharing with them the knowledge that they have, but they're slowly just not questioning what's around them anymore. And so I feel like my first job from day one is show them how to be curious. And then very soon after, I just let go of my classroom and the students end up running it. I get to learn about them better. I get to build those relationships. And so if that means I have to go out on the road to deliver instruction, because that's what's going to grab their attention, or maybe I'm working with a community organization because I have kids that want to get hands-on, physically dirty, or build something or try something, then that's what I'm willing to do, because that's how I learn as well. I'm not just sitting in front of books and a computer with all of my own academic learning. I have to manipulate, I have to ask people, I have to have experiences. And so I want to bring that and model that with my students.
When you are now faced with, this is where you're teaching, and we will see where the kids are learning in the next segment, because their classroom is set up at home. Mm-hmm. When we talk about the Wenatchee Internet Academy, tell us your role in it and let the community know what exactly it is and who is a good fit for participating, or how do you know who's a good fit for participating, and do you know? Tell us a bit about it.
Well, the Wenatchee Internet Academy had its very first year this past school year. It was offered to all students K-12 in the Valley, for those students and families who were uncomfortable about going full-time because of our global pandemic. And the students and families, many of them slowly figured out that this was a whole new way of learning that appealed to their students. It's all about flexibility. And so coming into this school year, WIA is taking a whole new turn and approach because of what we learned last year. And so I'm super excited. My role this year is to continue with what I call road schooling, and I will be able to offer that to all K-8 students. But our students will meet with their teachers for core instruction in the morning for about 3.5 to 4 hours. The afternoons are open for students to come to different locations and meet with me for field experiences, to attend road school virtually, to come onto campus. We have a portable classroom at the Westside High School campus where we'll be offering things like coding, art, music, different types of obstacle courses in engineering. But the students will also have flexibility if they want to take their own music classes, or if they have karate. Those can now be done from 11:30 till whenever. So the flexibility that we're able to offer is much greater than a traditional classroom, but it's also so student focused. Because I'm so passionate about getting that curiosity back into kids, all of WIA's curriculum is going to start with science standards. We're going to use the NGSS science standards and build our project-based learning around them. So this will be something K-8 students will be able to experience in WIA this school year.
In the way that you describe it, and I have no doubt it even exceeds what you can say about it, it is one of the good things that has come from this last year of having to pivot and figure it out. Right. And there are some students who just want to learn in that way and not have to come back to school after lunch, or not even want to be at lunch. Right. And that's not every student, certainly, and it's not every grade, but it is an opportunity. I mean, the kids are excited about the way that they get to learn. And I think that you're the perfect person to ensure that they learn what is intended, because what we don't want to have, right, is that the students slack and they use it as an excuse to go home and play video games or something like that.
Well, there's no time for that. Trust me.
No time for that. Right. Right.
Yeah. And it's a big partnership, right? I am counting on parents to provide that space at home. and to back me up if I need help with having them be attentive. We do ask families to come to the Westside High School campus to pick up materials for like 2 or 3 weeks so we can have that hands-on. But there's families that also, like I said, they enjoy that flexibility. So if they want to go to Seattle, or I've had families that went and visited grandparents in California, it didn't mean they had to stop school. Right. And then I take advantage of that because they say, hey, you're in California, we're not. Can you go outside? It's your turn to road school and show us what, you know, the environment looks like outside that window. And we are going to talk about how that's different here in Wenatchee. So I don't just become the teacher who's out on the road learning from different locations. I utilize my students' experiences with that. And that is a whole different level of power in learning.
And that'll impact them for years to come when they travel. Okay, we got to take a break. We're going to have 2 students come on and visit with us and tell us all about their experience with road school. We're talking with Miss Tina Brown. She is involved with the Wenatchee Internet Academy. She's heading that up, and then we're going to talk to the students, and then we're going to talk about your awards. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back. We've been visiting with Mrs. Tina Brown. She's a teacher in Wenatchee School District. And Tina, you were talking in great detail about road school, and I wanted to bring a couple of your students to the show. So thank you both for being here. Welcome, Eole and Josef. Thanks for being on the show. I like your headphones, Josef. They're cool. You guys have found ways to learn creatively at home. I could see your desk in the background, all the things. So thanks for being here. Tina, Mrs. Brown, let's chat a bit. Let's feel free to jump into this conversation with the students. They are obviously most comfortable with you, and just want to glean from them the experience that they had. So first, let's start with Eole. You participated in road school. Do you want to tell me a little bit about why you decided to sign up for it and what appealed to you about it?
Yeah, so WIA was a great choice for me because it was easier for me to learn because it was also quieter, and road school really cool because we were doing hands-on learning more than I felt like we did in public school. So that was really cool, and Mrs. Brown can make that available for us. And some of my favorites were World War II museums, where we got to learn about different World War II artifacts and got to see those almost, it felt like, in person.
What was your favorite of the stops you made and the places you went? That was your favorite. And what are some of the others that you were able to participate in?
Well, we went to Fort Casey, and I really liked that one because we got to see all of the different cannons they used, and I thought that was really neat, that because most of us don't get to do that, and that was really cool that we got to do that even if we were still at home.
Most of the time you're learning from a book, right? So that's one of the skills that you have, Mrs. Brown, for sure. And I've observed you for years, and we've done things like this on my show before. And it's about really involving the kids and letting them get to be part of learning.
Absolutely.
The gift
and getting them excited, letting me know what they're curious about and excited about. And I love that Eole brought up those cannons at Fort Casey, because we also saw similar ones at Fort Stevens, and we can make great connections between the two. With Fort Casey and Fort Stevens, we got to go behind some locked doors, right? That was so cool. We got a ranger to open up all the doors that were locked to the general public so we could sneak peek into some of the stuff you normally wouldn't get to see.
You got a special look at it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was great.
So Josef, you were able to participate as well. Tell us about your experience, why you signed up, and what kind of gap you feel like it filled up in your learning from home.
I was able to do things way quicker. And not have to wait. Because in normal school, you would have to wait in line for everybody to be quiet. And then around about 5 times that someone talked, the teacher would sometimes just be like, it's fine. But yeah, I was able to do things a bit quicker because I'm used to like doing computer stuff.
So you got to work at your own pace.
Yeah.
And what about road school did you like?
Road school, I liked, I guess being able to see what it was like kind of to be there without watching a video. It would actually be someone that I know going there, not just some random person going there in a video.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, Tina, what would you say, Mrs. Brown? Sorry, I keep calling you Tina. That's how I
That's
know.
okay. My first name's not a secret.
I know, that's true. We think it is when we're kids. We don't even think our teachers live outside of the school when we're kids, but that's another thing that makes it fun. So when you decided to have road school, which we've already talked about, what is it that you've observed from these two students or any other students that you want to include in the conversation who aren't here with us, but what did you see was the benefit for these two particular students?
The biggest benefit is their engagement. Like Joseph said, having someone they know go through a museum or walk in a location that they could go to themselves one day really got the kids involved, and they would ask me, hey, what's over there? Or you just walked by this, and we can stop and in real time discuss something, unlike a video where if you have more questions, it's a video, right? You can't stop and ask. Also, for the kids, I was able to give them real world experts. So at the World War II Museum, it wasn't just me walking through the museum. We worked with several historians while we were there and also their STEM educators. So we were able to get multiple perspectives and ask more people those questions that we just, we wanted answered. But the engagement part, like I said, they came to class, right? And then they wanted to continue learning about it outside of class time, like Joseph said, on his personal time when he could get his work done. And that alone excited me, right? Because now the kids are really working out those standards that I'm responsible for, but they're doing it because they're inquisitive about the place that we were just at. And they get to earn their souvenirs, just like if they were going with. And so they became junior rangers. And also
badges, right?
Yeah, Eole, do you have your junior ranger badges? Yeah, so they became state park, Washington State Park Junior Rangers, Oregon State Park Junior Rangers, National Park Junior Rangers, and then they also had the opportunity to earn dog tags from the World War II Museum. So I know they have those with them. Let's see those dog tags, guys. So by participating at the museum with me, answering questions, showing their understanding of learning independently, they earned their dog tags. So they are now mini historians with materials from World War II.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, either one of you, you can jump in, either one of you. What does Mrs. Brown mean to you in that outside learning that you get to do that, we know that you're exceptional, Mrs. Brown, but what do you two feel is exceptional about your learning experience in her classroom, whether it's in a setting like this or you're actually out in the world learning firsthand with her?
I think she's just so fun. She makes learning actually fun, not just math on a paper. And she really gets us to engage, and it's just like we get to be there actually learning, and it improved me on how I should learn a lot, and it was just amazing.
And how about you, Joseph?
I would say the same thing. And also she's like very hands-on, like instead of like just reading a book on how to make cheese, she actually taught us step by step how to make cheese in real time. And like instead of reading a book on chemicals, she taught us how to do chemical stuff step by step in real time, which is really cool because you actually get to do it by yourself and learn.
Well, you are really cool, Mrs. Brown. You're so cool that next segment, we're going to devote most of just talking about all the awards you're nominated for and what those mean, and dive a little deeper into that part of your career. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. I appreciate your time and keeping the background noise. I know you guys got busy households. Everyone's working from home, so thank your family for me as well. Thanks for being here, and have a great rest of your day and enjoy your summer.
Thank you, friends.
See you guys later. We'll be back in just a moment. We are back with Mrs. Tina Brown from Wenatchee School District. Real quick, I know you don't want to sit here and talk about yourself for a whole segment, but tell us the awards that you're nominated for this coming school year.
I'm honored that my colleague, Dr. Sue Kane, nominated me, and I was awarded as a Washington State finalist. I'm one of 3 finalists for the Presidential Award of Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. And I'll find out in September if I get to go to Washington, D.C. to represent the state of Washington. And then also my principal, Mrs. Jennifer Devereaux, she had nominated me along with 3 wonderful students of mine for the Washington State Teacher of the Year. I was selected to represent North Central Washington as the Regional Teacher of the Year, and we'll find out in September as well if I get to represent the state as the Washington State Teacher of the Year.
Well, congratulations. You're completely deserving, and I'm really happy for you, and we'll be pulling for you to represent our state like you do so well. One of the things that I wanted to say that you and I talked about off camera, about just the expectation of, you know, the students if they're signing up for this Wenatchee Internet Academy. I think that there are some parents who struggle to ensure that their children are getting a good education. And I think that having a teacher like you ensures that they have to raise their own expectations of themselves, of their household, and of the education their kids are getting. And I just want to commend you for the good work that you do by making that possible.
Thank you. As I said before, it is a partnership, and between communication, both Zoom family meetings that I have with all of my students monthly, the weekly reminders and progress reports, taking all of that into consideration, and having parents there when I'm road schooling and having them participate with us really just makes it a very comfortable environment for everybody. It makes everybody want to learn just a little bit more.
Well, I'm just happy for any student that gets to encounter you and make them, I know they'll remember you for a lifetime. So congratulations on all that you do. For anyone who wants to sign up for Wenatchee Academy, we just have a few seconds left. That is, the deadline for that is Wenatchee Internet Academy is August 16th.
Yes, we would prefer any students in wanting to enroll to do that by the 16th so we can be prepared and ready for them on the first day of school.
And where do they go for that? To the district website?
To the Wenatchee School District website, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll be rooting for you in September. And I follow you on Facebook, so I'm going to know if you won or not. And no matter what, you're doing a great job. So thanks for being here. I really appreciate your time, and thanks for bringing the students on, and keep up the really good work.
Thank you. As long as I have students with me, I plan on it.
Perfect.